Have you ever stopped to think how many lives have been ruined because of a feeling? Disrespect. Just the idea of it has sent people to jail, cost them loved ones, torn families apart, and even led to murder. And the truth is, it was all for nothing. Disrespect is an illusion. It's a trick your mind plays on you, but because kids are rarely taught how to handle it, they grow up letting this illusion control their lives. And today we're going to break that cycle. We're going to talk about three people: an 18-year-old on a basketball court, a 30-year-old something farmer in the Midwest, and a professional navigating a tough workplace, and how the idea of disrespect impacts their lives. Their stories reveal the surprising truth about disrespect, and by the end of this episode, you'll know how to rise above it. Plus, I'll share some ancient wisdom from philosophers who cracked the code on this problem centuries ago. And don't miss the free guide I've put together to help you apply these lessons in your own life. And I'll tell you how to get that guide later. Hey there, friends. It's Steve here, your second or maybe your third favorite grandfather. Welcome back to Old Guy Insights. Hey, whether you're walking the dog, doing the dishes, or stuck in traffic, I'm glad you're here. Before we dive in, let me give you a quick heads up. I'll never ask you for your personal information. I'll never try to sell you anything or sneak into your DMs. Everything I talk about is completely free, and you can grab extra goodies like today's free guide on my website. Stick around to learn more, and don't forget to grab the guide I made just for you. It's packed with actionable tips and insights. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss an episode. And if you're a returning listener, thanks for being part of the family. It's always a pleasure to have you here. All right, let's jump in. Today we're talking about disrespect, a feeling so sneaky it can rob you of your peace and perspective if you let it. Let's find out why. When people feel disrespected, the first thought that comes to mind is, how dare they? I can't let this slide. It's an emotional response that makes us feel like we need to react to defend ourselves or prove something. That feeling like someone is attacking your worth or trying to belittle you can be overwhelming. But here's the kicker. Disrespect is usually not even about you. It's a perception, not a reality. It's shaped by how we interpret someone else's actions or words. What you perceive as disrespect might just be someone having a bad day, being distracted, or even dealing with their own insecurities. Yet we let these moments eat at us, spinning stories about their intentions and what it says about us. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, is this really about me, or is there something else going on? That one question can shift your perspective and save you from unnecessary stress. And here's the thing. This idea isn't new at all. In fact, philosophers were teaching this thousands of years ago. Their wisdom might surprise you, and we'll come back to that soon. But first, let's meet Marcus. I think we've all known Marcus in our lives. He's just 18, and like so many young people, he's navigating a world where respect can feel like a test of pride. But the way Marcus handles disrespect shows just how dangerous this illusion can be. One afternoon, Marcus is at the basketball court with his friends. The smell of asphalt and sweat fills the air, and the summer heat clings to him like a second skin. During a game, a guy bumps into Marcus and mutters something under his breath. Marcus feels his blood boil. His friend's eyes are burning into him and his heart pounds. He's thinking, if I let this slide, everyone will think I'm weak. So he shoves the guy. Words fly, then fists, and before Marcus can process what's happening, someone in the crowd pulls out a gun. The fight ends, but the conflict doesn't. A week later, Marcus hears the guy that he shoved is holding a grudge. Now, Marcus isn't just worried about his pride, he's worried for his life. And here's the thing. Marcus didn't even hear the guy's exact words, but he felt the tone. And that tone, paired with the eyes of his friends on him, made him think, this guy is disrespecting me. But was he? Or is Marcus assigning a meaning to something that might not have even been intentional? How many times have we all been in Marcus's shoes, feeling like we have to prove ourselves in front of others? It's a dangerous trap, and all of this could have been avoided. When Marcus felt disrespected, he had a choice. He could have walked away, saving himself a week of stress and a lifetime of regret. Or he could have used my favorite response, humor. I mean, imagine if Marcus had said, hey, my bad. I think my hip's got a grudge against you. A little joke could have turned an almost deadly fight into a laugh. Even ignoring the slight would have been better than reacting. Next time you're in a situation like Marcus's, remember, it's not about how others see you, but how you carry yourself. Letting it pass doesn't make you weak. It makes you wise. Here's what Marcus didn't realize. True strength isn't about reacting. It's about rising above. Think about the wisdom in the old saying, you can't control someone's actions, but you can control your reaction. Choosing calm isn't just smart. It's what builds lasting respect. And here's something that just might surprise you. These are not new lessons. I'm not making these up. This is not the first time. These are ancient wisdom, thousands of years old, but somehow we've forgotten them. Philosophers were teaching these principles long before social media or workplace drama existed. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher from nearly 2,000 years ago, said, remember that it is not he who gives abuse or blows who affronts, but the view we take of these as insulting. It's a reminder that the insult itself doesn't hold the power. It's the meaning we attach to it that fuels our reaction. Even Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic thinker, taught, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Isn't it shocking that these lessons, which could save so many people from unnecessary pain and regret, have been right there in history, just waiting for us to remember them? Walking away shows maturity and self-control and confidence. The respect you earn from staying calm lasts far longer than the fleeting admiration of throwing a punch. These ancient lessons still hold true, but unfortunately, they've been left behind in a world that desperately needs them. Now let's meet Claire, a 38-year-old working in a fast-paced marketing agency. Claire's no stranger to hard work. Nope. She spent years climbing the ladder, proving herself at every step. But lately, her boss has been interrupting her in meetings, talking over her, and even dismissing her ideas before she's even finished. At first, Claire tries to brush it off. She tells herself he's probably just stressed, it's not personal, but the frustration builds. Each time it happens, it's like another log in the fire inside of her. And one night, she's lying awake in bed, replaying the day's meeting over and over. That embarrassment, the anger, it all starts to feel just unbearable. Finally, one day in a team meeting, Claire's patience snaps. Her boss interrupts her again, and this time she fires back, well, maybe if you'd let me finish for once, you'd actually understand my point. The room goes silent. Her boss glares, and Claire realizes she's just handed over all her power. She wanted to be heard and respected, but now all anyone remembers is her outburst. The anger that had been building for weeks boiled over in a single moment, and it cost her more than she expected. Here's the thing. Claire's frustration wasn't unjustified. Her boss's behavior was dismissive and unfair, but by reacting in the heat of the moment, Claire lost control of how she was perceived. Instead of addressing the issue calmly and professionally, she let disrespect win. What could Claire have done differently? Well, after the meeting, she could have approached her boss privately and said, I've noticed that I've been getting interrupted a lot in meetings, and I'd love to talk about how we can make sure my ideas are fully heard. By handling the situation calmly and directly, Claire could have built respect and maintained her professionalism. The lesson here? When you're feeling disrespected, reacting with emotion might feel satisfying in the moment, but it often undermines your long-term goals. Taking a step back to respond thoughtfully shows true strength and builds the kind of respect that lasts. Next, let's meet Tom, whose story shows how even good intentions can go wrong when we misread how others feel in the moment, and how that misunderstanding can spiral into something much worse. Tom is a 30-something farmer from the Midwest who loves his truck. It's not just a vehicle to him, it's a symbol of hard work, reliability, and pride in what he does. And one afternoon, Tom sees an old classmate, went to high school with, when he's pulling into the feed store parking lot in his own truck. They've always joked around, so Tom yells out, "Hey, your truck sucks!" Tom thinks he's being funny. It's just the kind of banter they've always had. But today, the other guy isn't laughing. He's having a horrible, rotten, terrible day. Work is stressful, his kids have been sick, and now he feels like Tom is taking a shot at him in public. His jaw tightens and he mutters, "Whatever, man." We're walking in the store. Tom watches him go, confused. What the hell just happened? He thought they had that kind of rapport, but instead of getting a laugh, he thinks he's hurt his friend. Well, here's the twist. The other guy doesn't just feel hurt, he feels disrespected. And instead of brushing it off or addressing it directly, he silently decides, I'll get that Tom back for this. He thinks he can make me look bad? Well, just wait. And so the cycle begins. Tom's comment, meant as a joke, has planted a seed of resentment. That resentment festers, and one day it will grow into something worse. An escalation that could end in a ruined friendship, a public confrontation, or even a tragic outcome. Later, Tom would think about that day and realize how easily he could have avoided hurting his friend. A simple, "Hey man, I'm sorry, I was joking," might have changed everything. But because neither of them addressed it, the cycle of resentment started. And it's a cycle that could have been stopped even before it began. Here's the thing. Disrespect isn't always intentional. Tom didn't mean to upset his old friend. He was just joking around. But what Tom couldn't see was the bigger picture, the other guy's bad day, his stress, and how a little jab hit him harder than Tom ever intended. This story flips the script. Instead of someone else giving us the opportunity to feel disrespected, it shows how we might unintentionally create that feeling in others. And it reveals how the feeling of disrespect, when left unchecked, can spiral into a cycle of resentment, retaliation, and unnecessary conflict. Here's the lesson. Even good intentions can go wrong if we don't read the room. It's a reminder to be thoughtful with our words and actions because we don't always know what someone else is carrying. And if you're on the receiving end, pause before reacting. Take a moment to ask yourself, is this really about me or is there more going on here? That one question can save you a lot of unnecessary conflict, and it might just stop a bad moment from becoming something much worse. So we've looked at Marcus on the basketball court, Claire in the boardroom, and Tom in the parking lot. 3 different people, 3 different situations, but all linked by the same idea. Disrespect is an illusion. Marcus thought he needed to prove himself, but his reaction almost cost him everything. Claire let frustration get the better of her, and it threatened her career. And Tom's joke, though unintentional, planted a seed of resentment that could one day lead to tragedy. Disrespect isn't real. It's a perception, an emotion we allow ourselves to feel. But when you recognize it for what it is, you gain the power to stop it in its tracks. You stop handing control to others, and you protect your peace, your relationships, and your future. If today's episode gave you something to think about, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and let me know in the comments. What's one time you handled disrespect better than you thought you could? Or maybe a time you wish you'd done things differently. Your story could inspire someone who's going through the same thing. I almost forgot. Before you go, make sure to grab the free guide I put together for you. It's just for this episode. It's like having a toolkit for dealing with disrespect right at your fingertips. Inside, I've included strategies to handle moments like Marcus's fight, Claire's frustration, and Tom's misunderstanding, so you can protect your peace no matter the situation. You'll also find timeless insights from ancient philosophers. Their lessons are all about mastering your emotions when faced with slights. And they're just as relevant today as they were 2,000 years ago. Plus, I've added quick reset techniques that are easy to remember and use when you feel your emotions starting to take over. The best part, like I promised you, it's completely free and you don't have to give up any personal information, no email, no signups. Just head over to the show on my website, oldguyinsights.me. That's me. And download it there. It's that simple. So take the first step today toward handling disrespect like a pro. Until next time, stay awesome, be kind to each other, and remember to do good things. See ya.